everyone. Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Ronnie, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week, I'm going to talk a little bit about being a professional artist. I know it has went viral about Cardi B and how she threw the mic at a fan during a performance and how there was mixed feelings about I guess her throwing the mic. Um, I've watched several blogs on it. I've watched Lovely T. I've watched DJ Ricky Sky. I want to say it's Blackie Media or something, but Chronicle Speaks, B with the T. Several bloggers on YouTube talking about it. And I was thinking, I was like, I guess none of these people have, and I don't have a on this right here, but I do have them say. I guess people never watched Showtime at the Apollo, the early Showtime at the Apollo. And when people would come out to perform and people didn't like it, they would throw things on the stage and boo them and all kinds of things. And it was really dangerous if you wasn't like a very talented person. So throwing things on the stage is not new. I think the intent is something different. During the R&B days, you would have crooners that would come out and sing, and women would throw their underwear, and they would catch them, and all this kind of stuff like that. It was the intent. The intent was, yes, to catch their attention, but not hurt them at the same time. I even think about, you have to look at these things on I say case-by-case basis, because I look at how, and they even talked about some older instances where it happened with like David Bowie and earlier in June with another pop artist. But I even think about when Dave Chappelle was rushed. What about when Will Smith walked up on stage and slapped the hell out of Chris Rock? Those things, coming up on the stage, throwing things, the intent was to hurt somebody. So I'm glad that I didn't kind of like just jump on the bandwagon and be like, oh, I'm going to talk about this week. I wanted to sit back and think about it because, as I mentioned before, a promoter in the Austin, Texas area, was working on her degree in what was it called? Entertainment counseling, and how entertainers can go through periods of depression and aggression and things like that. So I was thinking about all those instances, and with those, the intent was to hurt Dave Chappelle when he rushed him, to hurt to hurt the lady with the cell phone, because nobody in their right mind could think that throwing a cell phone at somebody would end up okay. I mean, if you wanted them to have your number, you're risking breaking the phone and them not being able to get it. I mean, I don't know why a person would even do that. But when I moved to the Cardi situation, and I think back to when she was first on Love and Hip Hop, and how she had this magnetic personality, and everybody liked her because she was so funny, but was okay with her. She threw something at the girl Asia. She threw something at her, and everybody was okay. She's insecure. She's this. She's that. That's cool. Excuse me. That's cool, but that girl never threw anything at you or done anything like that. You can't just react with violence. As I cannot remember her name, Tatiana Ali said, no, Will, you cannot react with violence. You cannot wake up with violence. You cannot wake up with violence. So, looking at some different clips and looking at it, I know Las Vegas can be. Oh, I just remember the first time I went to Las Vegas, the heat monkeys was. But I know that it's hot. But you cannot invite people to throw water on you and expect that everybody is going to follow the rules, because people don't. They will not follow the rules. And then I know that it's part of the entertainment persona, but asking somebody to throw liquid on your private parts and knowing that they may not follow the rules, it may have threw something else on you that could cause another health concern. So when I first heard the story, I was like, well, why is this lady throwing water? I wanted to know why. Then find out that she invited the crowd to do so. At some point, you have to have a cutoff point. People were saying you shouldn't invite people to throw anything. Okay, so what? So she did. Okay. The next thing is, okay, I've had enough water thrown on me. Now let's party. Don't throw any more water. Make it clear. So I go back to the intent thing. I looked at the video where the lady said, "Oh, I'm sorry." How many times have we thrown something and we have, I would call it, missed the basket? We do it all the time. And when she threw it, from what I can understand, and if I'm wrong, tell me, that she threw it while she was turned, and Cardi turned back around right as the water was coming in her face. So I listened to people say that she did that the night before. And I made a comment on some of the blogs, because I do comment. The thing is, last year, it was a year ago, that a fan grabbed her leg. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, I don't know. But she took her microphone and she started beating that person with the microphone. And people were cool with that. And I was like, well, maybe he shouldn't have been grabbing her leg, but I don't know about hitting somebody with a microphone. To me, that I recognized it as a weapon. Okay? So then, with the situation with the DJ, that was another situation. I'm like, okay. So then the next night, she threw the microphone at the person. So I'm just saying, in my mind, what I think, that she recognizes that using a microphone is something that she will always have, because she's an artist, and something that she can use as a weapon. So when we're dealing with children and somebody hit somebody and they're like, well, she was talking about me, or he said something about my mama, or something like that. We're like, well, you say something else back. You don't have to hit when somebody just used words. Okay? So I do understand that people have reflexes, but as I want to say, it was Black Media, and I hope I didn't get that wrong. When you are a professional artist, you have people in place to handle those things. Now, I normally work in this realm with indie artists, trying to get them professional. Because sometimes when you come in as an indie artist, all the components are not there. And so you want to get all the components and start building on it to become a professional artist. And one of the things that you have to deal with is being able to perform, being able to have a thick skin, knowing when a relationship of any kind is not going to be right for your brand. Those different things like that. So when you move into being a professional artist, there's a level of respect that you are expected to get, and a level of respect that you are expected to give. And even like I said with Lovely T, I mean, when I heard on Lovely T, that she didn't agree with it. I don't agree with it either. I don't agree with a lot of things um, that happens in the entertainment industry. But you don't invite people to throw things on you. And when things don't go as planned, at the end of the day, it was still water. At the end of the day, you still ask somebody to do that. Maybe not her in particular, but she apologized immediately when she saw what happened. And it's like people are so quick to for violence. It's crazy to me. But it's like now it's getting to the point where is entertainment counseling needed? Because some of the things that she's throwing these mics about, which is a weapon, is not warranted. And we like Cardi. Just calm down some. That's not always the way to retaliate. And even with some of the things that you say, people will be more apt to, I would say, be more understanding and more neutral in situations if it some other things, because I was offended by the fact that Cardi said don't listen to this country man, and one of the bloggers, Tisa Tales, was reporting on it. And I told her, I said, that means, because I commented, I said, that means a person of low intelligence. And even if you remove that person from where they are at, they still going to act like that. And it's very ironic to me that she acts like this over and over again, but yet calls Offset don't to saying about Offset don't listen to this country man. And then even after I explained what it meant, and some people agreed with it, Tisa came on back on her platform and was talking about, yeah, and this country man, and let me tell you about this country man. Okay, when a person say that something is offensive, it's offensive. And so I'm gonna say that when a lot, because a lot of the comments were she needs to be held accountable because she said and done too many things. And I'm the type of person, I just, go on. Like, okay, to each his own, well. But when you try to, I would say, offhandedly insult someone, and you're exhibiting the same action, I don't care if you call it reflex or what. My first thought with the mic going into the crowd was, how does she know she hit the right person? Now, there's other ways to react. And so I think that needs to be the focus. Not that you don't like what people say in this industry. Now that there's the World Wide Web, that people can voice their opinion like right up in your face without ever meeting you. And yes, sometimes people are disrespectful. And yes, the crowd should be more respectful to the artist. But the artists have to have more respect for the craft. Okay? And if your thing is throwing whatever you threw at Asia, throwing shoes at Nicki Minaj, beating a fan for pulling on your leg with a microphone, throwing a microphone at the DJ because he had, I guess, undiscussed periods of where you would actually rap your part, and mad because the water didn't hit your private area like you asked, it actually hit your face when you turned around because she don't throw as good as you. Some of those things need to be worked on. And I would say for indie artists, and their takeaway on this is to put yourself in that situation, because I heard her on the interview, Cardi on the interview, saying something about ice hurts when it's thrown at you and da da da. When the girl said, I'm sorry, when you said I'm sorry, it should have been, in my opinion, dang y'all, I told y'all to throw water here, not there. Don't throw any more water because I'm getting beat up over here. Done. There was no need to take a microphone. A microphone. Where's I have a microphone somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, this microphone. This microphone is hard as I don't know what. And you roll this microphone, it's an issue. There's an issue. So I know that they said she's a suspect in charges. I think with the personality that Cardi has, and to me, because I've never met her, it really seems like she could really be a nice person. What area needs to be worked on, or maybe she needs a break. That you can't always react like that when you're a professional artist. And I don't want indie artists to think that once they make it to a certain threshold, that they can treat their fans like that, because the fans is what got you there. But that's all I'm going to say on the subject. And I'm glad that I listened to all sides of the stories and different opinions and how people thought and everything about it. And I was having a conversation with my mama. I was telling her what I was going to talk about and that I had been putting it off because I had been watching what other people were saying. She was like, oh, that lady who threw the microphone. I was like, yeah, what else do you know? And she was like, no, I just seen that on the news that she threw the microphone. Even though you have a big fan base, there's always room for a bigger fan base. And it damages your brand if the first time that a person hears about you is from clocking somebody with a microphone. So I think the takeaway for this is, number one, violence is not the answer. Number two, be more respectful to the craft. Not just the artist, but also the audience. And realize that it's supposed to be for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. Is your reaction equal but opposite? I am going to leave it at that and hope that indie artists can put themselves in that place and how they want to build themselves as a brand once they make it to that professional level. And I will see you next week. Remember that we stream live on social media and on all podcasting platforms. And I will this time see you next week. Bye.